match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat children. Pray.
What up? It's your boy Phil Hunt. We back here at the motherfucking Tough Talk podcast. No Andre this week. We're gonna go in a different direction. But we do have a guest. We got my man Quan Wiggins here. Say what's up, Quan.
Yeah. What up, man? I am Quan Wiggins, man. Definitely glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Motherfucking Tough Talk podcast. Quan is fresh off his win at the New York Comedy Club contest.
Fourth annual comedy contest.
Fourth annual, Ain't been going that long. Shouts out to Emilio and Amy and Drew and all the good people over at New York Comedy Club.
Yeah, that was definitely fun, man.
Definitely great to win. Did you get like a big trophy or something?
No, not yet. We're still
okay.
We're still working on the award
in the mail?
Package or whatever. Yeah, it's in the mail.
It's on the way. You check your mailbox. It might be up in there.
On the way, man. But nah, it was a very fun competition though, dude.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the club over there. I just did Emilio's AC Club a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So you'll probably be doing that pretty soon, and it's a great space, big room. I love Emilio. I feel like he's like the Mark Cuban of the comedy club owners here. Like, you ever see Mark Cuban for the Dallas Mavericks?
Nah.
He's always just innovative and always willing to try something new and always expanding his business. All the players that have ever played for him love him. They say he was like the first owner with flat screen TVs and different stuff like that. So
wow, that's dope, man. I definitely look forward to it. So
we'll start off here this week a little bit with like just some current events and stuff that's going on, and then we'll get into the fight night section of the show. Those of you that have been listening know we talk about fight stories here on the podcast. I don't know, if you necessarily know, but we'll start with some topics here. We fresh off an election, fresh off the midterm elections, man. How do you feel about, voting and all that kind of stuff? Did you vote?
Huh?
Did you vote?
Huh?
I didn't vote. I didn't vote either, man. So don't feel bad.
No, I actually did not vote, man.
Did not vote. Was that by choice or more of like you just busy and had other shit going on?
It was just a combination of being busy and just getting like actually registering to vote in New York State.
Yeah, I know. Even that's a process.
As an out of towner, I just didn't do that process.
Yeah, you can file that absentee ballot or whatever, but even that's like knowing how to do it and having
right. It's a lot to do it.
Sometimes you don't want to go down there and get them folk your information because they might pull up some old library fines or something, and you're like, damn, I owe y'all money for a book.
And now we know where you at.
Right, exactly. They be like, well, bro, we been looking for you.
About moving from your state.
You got some blockbuster fines that you ain't paid.
You get away from a lot of random fees when you move out of state.
100%. But yeah, the first year I was in New York, Hurricane Sandy year or whatever, that was the Obama election, and I filed an absentee ballot. But even then, I was registered in New York because I had moved from Indianapolis to Buffalo, New York for like 10 months. And then I figured that was a mistake, and I moved this way.
Yeah.
But I filed an absentee ballot. I mean, I felt an importance because I don't know. Even if you don't agree with everything Obama did as a president, it just felt good to see a black man be the president. And a black wife and his 2 black daughters and a black dog.
And they black dog.
Nah. I don't really know if the dog was
history.
black. But,
that's history too.
In my mind, the dog was definitely black. But
yeah, but I mean, Obama was just like...
on a representation level, if nothing else, it felt good.
Yeah, on the representation level, it was also good to see a president that made you feel hopeful. You know what I mean? Like, when Obama spoke, he always made you feel hopeful. He always
100%.
made you feel like we were, as a nation and citizens, we were building the country. It didn't seem like it was just the politicians when he spoke.
Yeah,
it just made it feel like, man, he was like, hey, man, we want to do this. And it was like, wow.
Right.
And, I went to a black college, so 2008 election?
Right.
Never will forget that.
100%. Him making history.
On that campus, too.
Because I can remember growing up, and granted, I lived, my father was military, and I lived in between mostly Indianapolis, Indiana, in South Georgia, Valdosta, Georgia, Moody Air Force Base. So it wasn't, those are both two red states, where Republicans kind of ruled, and old school white, and
they
some people debate whether or not the Klan was started in Indiana or not. Depending on what you Google, one thing says Tennessee and the other says Indiana, and every now and then I'll bump into somebody in New York. And they'll be like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "From Indianapolis." They're like, "Oh, Indiana, that's where the Klan was started." And I'm like, awkward way to start a conversation.
I thought the Klan was started in Tennessee.
Again, like I said, it depends on what you Google.
I think, you're right.
Some people will say Tennessee and some people will say Indiana.
Yeah.
But whatever is correct, hey, that
whatever
ain't...
it is. You don't want that to be...
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that to be the thing we known for, because people...
Oh, you from Klan state. Like,
people will start a conversation with me based off that. Oh, that's where the Klan is from.
Right.
And I'm like... Okay.
Like, I don't know them.
What I'm supposed to... if you looking at me, you would know I ain't invited to none of the meetings.
Right.
Like, it is what it is. Like, okay.
They say it like you can say, yeah, I know Jim.
Yeah, like I'm going to have pride in it.
Yeah, Jim, he's an all right guy.
Jim Crow was my uncle. He went to school with one of my cousin's brothers. You feel me? Like, nah, I don't know nothing about that.
They start naming off members, do you know?
Yeah, exactly. To where it's just like, hey, stop playing. That's why, like, if you pay attention to some of the, like I said, the social media really is just propaganda. But when the BLM thing was going hard and we was really having the Black Lives Matter versus the All Lives Matter conversations, and people started pushing that narrative of the Black Panthers being terrorists, and it's like, fam, if they were terrorists, they would have masks just like the Klan. Like, the only time you're going to have a mask is if you're doing some shit you don't want nobody to see you doing. Like, nah, they're not terrorists. They standing there.
Which is why the KKK wears masks. Because they're a terrorist organization.
They never explained what Ku Klux stand for, neither. I got beef with the Klan.
You know what? There was
like,
something.
what does that stand for?
I looked it up one time.
What does that even mean? And y'all ain't even spell Klan right, which I'm just like...
But it's based... I wish I remember, but their whole concept is based on, like, I believe another organization. But even within that, I'm not even gonna lie. The Klan is I think is a weird concept, because I was watching a movie, right? It was a Higher Learning.
Okay, yeah,
And
Higher Learning.
Just when the Klan, hey, they're taking everything from the pure Christian white man. They kept saying pure Christian white man, and then they was like, talking about their dislike for the Jews too. Yeah. And then I was like, Christian.
Like, what does that have to do?
But this is my point. If the KKK hates Jews, but it's a Christian organization.
Right.
But Jesus is the king of the Jews.
See?
So you worship the king of the Jews?
I wish I was even that researched to understand, but it's like, I don't understand a lot of it. But even with the
white, and Christianity,
white supremacy,
no matter how you break it down, that's a Jewish religion essentially.
Okay,
it came from Judaism,
some form or branch.
It came from 100%. It came from you can't have Christianity without Judaism.
There's a lot of.
So how do you hate?
It's just, hey, man, look, it's hot down south. They got the mask on.
How do you hate them?
They got the hood on down south. It's hot.
You're
I ain't gonna say they thinking
you
correctly.
You pray to Jesus. Jesus is a Jewish name.
Nah, I know, man.
It's not.
Like I said, it did a lot of.
So everything about it. So
a lot
of
it makes no sense. And you hate people you brought here. So hey, man, get a time machine and go back and yell at your uncles or your great grandfathers, because
it's a weird.
But the election happened, and I mean, we had some surprises. Down in obviously Georgia. You had Stacey Abrams, the black lady that was running. For
man, she was like killing it in those debates too.
The
way she was so coy, and the other dude was like, "Well, you did that." And made no sense. It
wasn't even close.
Made no sense at all.
And Stacey Abrams still wound up losing. But this is what made me feel a little sad. Was like, damn. Because if she'd have run up here in, Georgia or, in New York.
Oh, she would have towed Cuomo up.
She'd have had a better chance.
She would have towed Cuomo up.
Because up here, I ain't going to say they less racist. Because obviously
Cuomo,
we've seen
all
his
racism and stuff.
But
not his
it's
corruption.
more progressive people here, and it's a blue state.
Well, he won based on 100% based on like that old sub.
Well, yeah, the
Just
Good
keep
Old
it
Boys
same.
network is
Like,
still
when
down there in Georgia.
He had there was a picture of
Yeah.
some Black Panther militia saying, "Hey, we support Stacey Abrams."
Right.
And he retweeted it saying, "Is
Yeah.
Georgia ready for this type of extremism?"
Right, 100%.
Saying, "Hey, whiteys, do we want?"
Yeah, do we want this kind of thing?
Right,
And yeah, like I said, I grew up
and
in
then
Georgia.
the people who
you
wanted
know.
to keep things in
I
that
lived
old
in Georgia
school
for
racist
8
tradition.
years, so I kind of know what's going on down there. It's a weird
I was
dynamic
like,
because
he literally pulled the race card.
you
I
got
was
a
like,
very
"Oh."
chocolate city like Atlanta,
But outside of that-
then outside of that,
That's
exactly,
it.
you
That's
got the rednecks and all
And
that
the
with the
Atlanta city
shotguns.
limits, you would think it's a whole different thing, but once
Yeah,
you leave the city limits,
yeah.
you
Once
see
you get
what
out
the
to
red
Stone
is.
Mountain, Georgia.
It's-
Oh man,
they have all types of Confederate
yeah.
historic sites and graveyards and statues,
Right.
and
No,
it's just
100%.
it's super
I know. I told you I
Confederate.
lived in.
Yeah, super
Grew up
Confederate.
in
As soon as you
South
step
Georgia.
outside that city,
Lived there for 8 years,
super
so I
Confederate.
100%
you
understand.
just go like, wow.
You know, the white guy boys with the hunting jackets and all that, and you know what time it is. Like, people was mad when the Duck Dynasty dude said something racist, and it's like, you thought he was liberal?
Right.
What about a dude who hunts ducks all day on TV?
It's liberal.
Come on, man. You crazy. But yeah, Stacey Abrams wound up losing. Andrew Gilliam, that was for Florida. He wound up losing. And it's like, man, somebody said, hey, Florida gone Florida and Georgia gone Georgia. And it's like, damn, that's the reality. Because up here you had, what's her name, Octavia Hernandez, I think is her name, up in the Bronx that won, the Hispanic girl.
Okay.
Her name is slipping me, but she won. And I mean, obviously the Bronx is mad Hispanic, so why wouldn't they put her in? That makes sense. There should never be like a white governor of the Bronx. That don't even make sense. You see a white person up there, they lost.
Right.
Like, oh, brother, you was trying to go to Yankee Stadium. Yeah, bro. They shut off past Yankee Stadium. You ain't gonna see them past
but
there.
You know, but I still think that
And even in Harlem,
Stacey Abrams' run is gonna inspire
no,
the
100%.
next person to run.
Like they said,
and like Georgia isn't gonna be able to hold on to that old practice for so much longer.
It's still
put it like this.
America.
This is what I say. You're right. It's still America, but it's gonna become more of a struggle to hold on.
No,
to
yeah, the
practice.
racists are getting closer.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what we're seeing. So that's
gonna be
one of
hard
them
to hold on
things.
to that.
Stacey Abrams did that, and even though she did not win, does not mean that she lost, because just like you're saying, some young black girl is going to see that she got that far, and 20 years from now, she's going to win it.
I don't think it's gonna be.
It's
20
one of them
years,
things.
though.
I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be.
20.
I'm not going to
I think
even
in
try to predict that.
In the next, like, just how the whole country stood up in this midterm election, and
Right.
make sure people actually went out and voted this time, because they said, "Hey, there's some things at
Right.
stake." Because, bro, what you know what's interesting? I'm going off topic a little bit here, but what's interesting
sorry.
is the way politicians work. And I say, yo, I believe all politicians are corrupt, for one.
No, 100%.
And I'm like, yo,
Democrats and Republicans
Democrats
can both go to hell.
Democrats are better at corruption than Republicans. And the reason why I say that is because Democrats do it so subtle that it doesn't cause an uprise. But Republicans are so extreme with it that you go, oh, we got to do something. We got to not. I just be looking at that sometimes. I'm like, y'all push so hard. We got to fight you. Even if you're the type of person that's like, that doesn't think in that
when
vein.
you flat out say something.
They're so hard. And I'm like, yo, how are y'all?
Because I didn't like Hillary, but I also couldn't roll with Trump. To where
Right.
it's like, oh,
Hillary.
Oh, you want the Central Park 5 dead? Even after DNA evidence proved and overturned their conviction. This fool didn't say, oh, I'm sorry. This fool said, I still think they did it. And it's like, well, I can't vote for that guy. And then
He's so
even
extreme,
the
but
language that he's
Hillary
using,
isn't a better
even the
politician.
language that he's using, you know, calling all Mexicans murderers and rapists, and then when he said from shithole countries, when you really look at the facts, we all love Obama, but we know Obama was known to the Hispanic community as the deporter-in-chief. He deported the most people in the history of America. Now, I don't think that had much to do with him personally. Deportation is just something that happens.
Right. That's something that's
But
part
the
of
way he made
daily
you
business.
feel about it by not referring to someone's country as a shithole country
Right.
was at least professional.
And that's what I mean by like the
Democrats do it
They
better.
handle it better. Like
Yeah,
Republicans
100%.
are so like, oh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep it the same. And you like, oh, we gotta fight now. We gotta do something. Like I gotta stand
it
up.
makes
Like,
you feel
Democrats
like,
do it in such a way. But my point is, both parties have a lot of corruption, and
Right.
a lot of ill practices to them.
yeah, but I was hoping Stacey Abrams would win. Because I was hoping Stacey Abrams would bring back Freaknik, bro. Come on, man. We need Freaknik back. I grew up in South Georgia, and all we could do was think about going to Freaknik. And I remember they had one spot available in the car, and my homie was like, man, you might could come up there with us. And I was getting excited. I was like 14, 15. But then
it was too young.
But then I couldn't. I mean, nah, you could just go up there and look.
Yeah,
you
but
didn't have to get like a hotel
You
and
was gonna
nothing.
be confused about what was going on anyway at 14.
Come on, bro.
I ain't
Stop.
know nothing about Freaknik
You
at
underestimate me, bro. But I'm saying, if you lived in Georgia, you did. All the Uncle Luke videos, Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins.
Like it was just like a thing I heard of.
Whistle
but I
while
didn't
you
know what it
twerk.
was.
Remember that joint?
Yeah, but I just wasn't there yet at 14.
Nah, I mean, but I lived in Georgia, so that was the culture, and wanting to go to FAMU and all that.
Yeah.
That was the culture down there.
You want to go to Clark?
FAMU games.
You want to go to Clark or?
Nah, everybody down there, like I said, this was South Georgia. So everybody down there wanted to go to FAMU. Because FAMU was pretty close to us. Whereas Atlanta was kind of a 4-hour, almost 5-hour drive from where we was. We was right on the line near Florida and Georgia, so they called it Florida. And yeah, everybody wanted to go to FAMU. Everybody wanted to go to Freaknik. So when I seen Stacey Abrams, I was like, oh shit now. We about to bring Freaknik back. But yeah, she lost. But like I said, even though she didn't win, I don't think she lost, even coming that close in those states. But yeah, even up here in Harlem,
Man,
you had the black
so
lady
boring.
won, Letitia James. She won. And she's going to be the, Attorney General or whatever. Yeah, but so that was good to see. And like I said, it's progress being made in certain places. But then, like I said, when you count the big losses, the Florida, the Georgia, even the Texas, where it's like, but what did y'all think? Florida gonna Florida, Texas gonna Texas, and Georgia gonna Georgia. And then people forget they're connected to religion. Those people. So like I see online, people are shaming white women for who they voted for. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all think white women are running around voting for y'all interests. Like, they still white women. Like,
I mean, I don't know. And that's a weird thing, too. Like, vote shaming.
yeah, it's weird.
Because on one hand, even if I disagree with you, technically, it's up to you.
Yeah, the whole
Vote for.
Kanye thing.
I
to where it's
can't shame you for who you vote for.
Exactly. It's like, how you gonna
On
shame
one
me
hand.
for who I vote for? Even the whole Kanye thing, and I wanted to ask you, because I seen you had put up a post about starting to listen to some of his music again. So you back on the Kanye
Nah, but
train?
this is the thing, because I was disappointed with him, just based on the context of all his music. It was always this understanding of the way things work and
They're being very socially aware.
Right.
Diamonds in Sierra Leone.
For me, the
talking
only
about
the
that.
main
Blood
things
diamonds.
I disliked about him, for one, wearing a "Make America Great" hat. I'm like, yo, Kanye, there's no way that you can.
I think he just sees it as a brand.
I might know.
I know. I get
that's
what
nice,
you,
but I'm like, no.
No, I get people
no.
being mad at it, but also I think he just sees it as a brand unattached from whatever else Trump is
but I'm
pushing.
like, no, Kanye. But that whole hat thing, I'm like, yo, that whole message of
I get what you're saying.
It's completely.
Although
a
I would
racist
defend
time.
his right to vote Republican and to say, hey, I'm voting Republican. Like,
But those
Democrats
are the parts for me.
haven't
Those aren't the parts I was upset
done
with
nothing
him about.
for
I was
us
more
either.
upset with him
You was more upset about based upon
with some of his behavior. I was like, Kanye, you know better.
his material.
You know better. Make
Although-
America Great Again message. I'm like,
let me ask you this.
Like, you know better.
Because you said, in particular, it doesn't match up to you with his message in the music. Mm-hmm. Him talking about blood on the leaves, where he talked about mass incarceration.
Yeah.
And, the DEA hooked up with the CIA. They
Yeah.
trying to lock niggas up. They trying to make new slaves. Like, he's always seemed very progressive and ahead. But what I think people forget about him is this. For a rapper, he's never been conventional. When you talk about somebody that makes soul beats, you know what I mean? If you look at the time,
I'm not mad at, but again, I'm not.
Not. But I'm saying
certain particular behaviors.
I'm gonna throw this at you, and I want to see what you think. So I'm gonna try to go here. I'm gonna connect about 4 or 5 points, but I want you to just listen to what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna see what you think of this. Like I said, as a rapper, he's never been stereotypical. He's making soul beats. That was at a time, 2001, Blueprint, when what's dominating is Swiss beats. Even No Limit and Cash Money, very keyboard sounds, hitting 2 keys of Swiss beats. I'm still surprised it works. DMX is literally 3 keys most of those songs. He's mixing the soul samples. So then you got the way he raps, all the cats that's popular when he comes out, 2004, it's 50 Cent, it's Cameron and Dipset, all talking about guns and dope. This dude's talking about his mama going to college. This dude's talking about Jesus Walks. Even when you look at who he married, everybody thought he was going to marry some woke black girl and was kind of disappointed by even his choice in who he chose to go with. Nah, Kim then put a post where she's talked about racism and then deleted them because people are like, what? And it's like, yeah, you don't know anything. We like you because we like what we physically see, but don't give us your thoughts at all, lady, because you still, like I said, just like people being disappointed with the white women voting for who they voted for in those 3 states. It's like, hey man, they're still white women. So even for Kim Kardashian, sometimes she'll say stuff and the black Twitter universe will get pissed. And it's like, she's still a white lady. Like Kendall Jenner, remember, put the t-shirt she tried to sell with her picture and Biggie's picture. And it's like, shorty, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel like
trying to steal the culture.
That legacy is okay for you to touch?
To steal the culture.
100%.
Yeah. That was
straight
like
culture
really,
vultures.
Really disrespectful.
And then, like I said, people give them credit for being the most beautiful women in the, world. And it's like, that's not even their face.
But at the same time, they've been practicing beauty for so long that they should be good at it.
Beauty. But even then, like I said, that's not even their face. So I see it
but that's part of like,
I see it as being connected
of
the
makeup
like,
and the clothes and all that. But
I see it as being connected in like, we wonder how Trump's the president. It's like, the girl that you would say is the most beautiful girl in America, that's not even her face. That's like her 6th face. And that's like her 7th booty. Like, so people wonder how Trump's president. And I'm like, that's kind of how.
But Trump's also president because the Democrats are unwilling to adapt to the situation at hand. Mm-hmm. They just went in there playing this old school game, and it's like, yo, the game changed.
Oh, and Hillary,
and they didn't switch it up, right?
And
Hillary's born,
and she never denounced Bill Clinton to women. That looked fake. Where it's like, she
stole the Democratic bid from Bernie Sanders.
No, 100%. And the Bernie Bros never came over. So
it's like, yo, I'm really disappointed with Hillary because I'm like,
Bernie scared.
How do you cheat and still lose the election?
Exactly.
She lost to Obama. She cheated Bernie Sanders out of that bid, and then they got a news article recently saying Hillary's still the best hope for the Democrats. But I'm like, yo, she's not the best candidate.
People don't get that. It's reheated.
She lost twice.
She's reheated French fries. She is like
yo, if y'all want to keep losing elections, keep nominating Hillary.
She is like the Buffalo Bills in the when they kept going to the Super Bowl
and
they lost like 3 in a row.
Big game and then lose.
And just lose. And even then, she's not getting to the big game. I think I said it when she got there of like, she's Kobe with Shaq of like, Bill Clinton is pushing most of this along. Like, that's the only reason she's even being considered. And people kept saying, well, she's the most qualified. And it's like, being qualified is a bare minimum. Like, people also have to like you and believe in you.
And the way Trump ran was electric.
He's authentic.
Everybody
if nothing else.
You can say whatever you say, but Trump ran the best campaign, and that's why he won.
He's authentic.
And I'm just like, I'm looking at the Democrats. I'm like, if y'all don't switch up the game, and look at what Trump did,
it has to be somebody authentic.
Dude,
and
if I ran against Trump, I would do exactly what Trump did.
Yeah, you gotta
go out there on the campaign trail and I'd be like, lock him up.
Yeah,
lock him up.
He's like a mixtape
slogans and shit. All the crazy stuff he does. It's like, yo, 100%. I can't be poised and he's doing this entertainment. So I gotta switch up my
yesterday they had a rally or whatever, or no, he had to speak on the about the elections. And there was a guy. One guy asked him about Lil Jon, and I was like, I never in all my years thought I'd be listening to a president speak, and then someone in the media would ask a random question about Lil Jon. He was like, yeah, so Lil Jon said that you once called him an Uncle Tom, and Trump said, who? And I was like, damn, I was wishing he went, what? I would have been like, oh man, that's too good. But yeah. Then he shouted at the dude that worked for CNN and was like, oh, you got to get out of here. CNN should be embarrassed to even have you work for them, which is funny because the week ago, the dude that was sending the bombs sent the bombs to CNN, and then Trump had to come out and act like he fucked with CNN and felt sorry for them. And It's like, fam, this is the kind of shit you talk up. And even today, you had a shooter in California shoot 12 people.
I don't know.
Keep giving these nuts
the
guns.
Lawmakers just refuse.
Yeah, I know. I thought after Sandy Hook it would have changed.
Address this stuff, and it's like
I thought after Sandy Hook, when you seen elementary school kids be murdered, you would change it. A good guy with a gun hasn't happened in a long time.
I don't know what to say about the whole gun thing.
So I'm gonna ask you something. I'm just gonna lead to our next topic. In Florida, there was one, and I don't know if you've seen him, but he shot up a yoga studio, right? Of course, white guy, and he had been, online on these sites ranting about women, and went into a yoga studio basically and killed like 4 women. He had a history though, like he was grabbing ass by the pool with some girl, and she reported him, and of course they didn't lock him up. And then another incident where he grabbed a girl, and then like I said, they pulled up old videos of him online ranting about women, hating women and not liking women. And a theme for this show that I've been asking each guest, I asked the last guest, and I've definitely asked Andre a lot. Do you think, even with the Me Too movement, do you think legalizing prostitution might cut down some of that? Because
legalizing prostitution,
when you look at that guy, someone like that guy is obviously speaking about not liking women because women aren't paying him any attention. And I every time I see that or I see some crazy Me Too story, I'm always like, yo, if y'all would just legalize prostitution, not that you would end it, but I think you could at least cut it down some. If these dudes had a place they could go to get rid of that angst, the $16 suck and fuck. Because, like I said, I'm looking at this dude who shot up the yoga studio. He shot 2 women, only shot and killed 2 women. And like I said, was playing grab ass by the pool. And it's like, there's a lot of white dudes out there that's angry, like that women don't like them. And I'm like, even with like the whole...
but it's like, even if they could...
I know it's about power
even if they
a lot.
could, I wouldn't even think to that level, but even if I feel like they could, have like some sort of sexual interaction or whatever makes them want to go in a place and shoot up something, I feel like that issue would still be there.
No, they're also crazy.
So,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just like with the Proud Boys and some of this stuff that you see where it's just like, you're mad, and then there's 2 like separations, right? It's like, are you mad at women, or are you mad that women won't pay you attention? Which that's I think that's an easy fix, and I do think legalizing prostitution could help some with that. But B is, and this is a higher level of thinking, is that you're not mad that women won't pay you attention. You're mad that the women you won't pay you attention. So you're like a 6 that's like, why that 10 won't talk to me? And it's like, fam, she'll talk to you. Like, I think we all knew a dude like that in high school, right? That you had to kind of pull back and be like, yo, fam, you aiming too high. Like,
yeah.
Women like you, just not the women you want to like you. You gotta lower your standards a little. But yeah, he was a fat white dude, so I'm looking at him like,
I don't know.
I bet you if you legalized it, or even like, not Harvey Weinstein, because I think he was too crazy, but somebody like Tavis Malley that was just getting at his assistants and shit. It's like, yo, I bet if he could just go across the street, drop down that money, because I was talking and I was telling somebody, like, because he was like, nah, prostitution is practically illegal. And I'm like, nah, because every now and then if you famous, you get caught in a sting. Like we was talking about Marv Albert and Freaky Marv. You remember Marv Albert that worked for the NBA?
No, I'm not familiar.
He got caught with a prostitution. It was like a high level prostitution ring, and they released not only names of clients, but the prostitutes had to take the stand, and they took the stand and told, like, yeah, that one right there, he liked to wear women's panties. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, man. If it was legal, he wouldn't have got suspended by the NBA, and now we know all his business. Like, every time he comes on the NBA to broadcast, I'm like, this motherfucker like women's panties. And his wife and his kids got to deal with, damn, daddy like a negligee? Like, my daddy like negligees.
Nah, that's so weird.
And his wife was probably like, yo, you just could have asked me. We talked about some sports here, man. What you think about the Lakers, man? You like their chances?
I haven't been keeping up, but all I know is regardless of what happens, I'm Team Brian. So
Team LeBron, definitely.
Go LeBron.
Go LeBron. Yeah, man. I like that you're honest about that, and that that you like LeBron. Because some people would be like, go Cavs, and I think even when he went to the Heat, you had people being like, go Heat, and it's like, you like LeBron. Just cheer for LeBron.
Dude, I'm definitely like more of a player fan than the team. Only team I literally root for is the Carolina Panthers. And that's because that's the home team.
And that's the home team.
And UNC basketball.
I
don't root for no teams. I root for players.
I hate that LeBron or the team is struggling, and people got to figure it out. And it's just like, what do y'all want? Y'all act like he was going to go undefeated.
He won't go there year one and do that. He got to gel that chemistry.
He got to build it. He got to figure out who goes where.
And that's chemistry yet.
Yeah, that's been his thing everywhere he's went. They had to get rid of certain players.
When he went to Miami, he walked into a staple of superstars. So duh.
But even then, they lost a lot, and people were panicking.
They had to gel, but they had a better chance of gelling because of what they had.
Yes, and he also had to bring in 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
And it's like this team was built flawed. You got him, you got JaVale McGee, then you bring in, Lance Stevenson, and you bring in, Rondo, and it's like you got a bunch of ball handlers. You got to figure out what your interior game is gonna be, you know. And they just got Tyson Chandler.
The only weird thing is I don't get why LeBron makes so much money that he don't either go bald or get his hair fixed. He's too rich to have that type of hair.
I was saying last episode, like, I think it's funny
He's too rich.
He has the TV show on HBO, and it's in a barbershop. Yeah. And it's just like...
Bro, he's too rich to have that type of hair. I don't get the issue.
I think that's...
Like, either you got to go bald or buy some hair.
That's funny about technology, though. As a man, like, you can have all the money in the world, still can't make your hair look legit right.
So cut it off. That's just me.
Shit, look at LeBron, look at Trump, where it's like, hey, man, when your shit go, it go. Especially for a black man, it's like, just bald it.
Yeah,
MJ had the baldy.
Yeah, let it go.
MJ had the baldy, so we all
seeing
know.
that struggle hair.
You're right. Yeah,
as black men, we don't look right with the struggle hair. White men can do it.
Well, not only that, but we clown. So we gonna be like, Quan, take the hat off though.
But not
Quan,
even
take the hat off though.
But not even with that. I feel like when we lose our hair, you be like, dang, you look like something wrong with you.
Right.
But I feel like white guys can rock the horseshoe. And they just
we don't horseshoe at all. Like I mean, shit, it's fucked up. But I do a joke about it where it's like, nah, there's 3 types of dudes. There's dudes with hair, there's bald head dudes, and then there's the dudes in the middle. And I'm always like, I've heard women say they like bald head guys, and obviously women like guys with hair, but I've never heard a woman say, you know what I like? My man with hair on the sides. Right. So it's just, when I see those dudes, I always do think
about
like,
an exposed scalp.
Wait a minute. Like, why would you, unless you George Jefferson and you moving on up to the east side.
But that's even interesting though. Back in the day, you could do it, but now that day
even
is
back
gone.
then you couldn't do it. I bet it was brothers
if you
like,
was
hey.
old, but if you was old, who gonna be mad at an old dude?
Even when I get old, I'm not.
Nah,
man,
dude.
I'm gonna cut my shit. But
you old, I dare you to say something, motherfucker. I'm 60.
So yeah, speaking of your Panthers, Cam looks solid, man. Cam getting it done out there. They started a little slow, but I think they 6-2 now.
Our team is always scary because the whole organization is based on how Cam Newton.
Yeah, I know.
If his energy is off.
I'm proud as fuck of Cam though, for this reason that black quarterbacks, for whatever reason, don't really do too well in the NFL, and I mean most of it comes down to institutions. Most of the time, if the coach like you, even if the coach do like you, the GM don't like you or the owner don't like you. Might feel like you cocky. So you had like Jamarcus Russell, who obviously went to the Oakland Raiders, and that's just bullshit there. So he didn't make it. Even the young boy in Tampa Bay, with the strange name, Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of struggling now, and it's like, damn, because you can kind of see the writing on the wall of they about to get him out of there, make him play back up.
It's always tough with those type of quarterbacks because I feel like most NFL coaches don't know what to do with them. It's like the college coaches have figured it out.
Oh, 100%. But you're not
most
playing the
NFL coaches
system.
They don't know.
But they kind of pigeonhole you.
It.
They pigeonhole you as a runner, and then they try to run you on Wildcat. Like even the young boy that won the Heisman, Louisville, Lamar Jackson, is in Baltimore playing behind Flacco, and they just bring him in on these strange packages, and it's like, can he not pass in the NFL, or are you not giving him the chance to even pass?
Yeah, bro, it's one of those weird things because sometimes I feel like a guy's mechanics might be not what you want to be.
Not typical.
But he makes plays.
No, 100%.
And I'm like, so what you want? You want to
win?
Be bad, or you want some mechanics?
You might as well have somebody that can make plays.
You need to have a playmaker, bro, dude.
Yeah,
nobody will ever agree
bad
with me. Nobody will ever agree with me. But I'm like, yo, the NFL did Tim Tebow so wrong.
Facts. I do agree
His
with
mechanics might have been
Yo,
ugly, but he made plays.
I was sitting in a bar in Buffalo in those playoffs when he threw that pass against Pittsburgh.
And it was nasty.
And connected, and the bar went crazy. That's one of my favorite football moments.
It was ugly, but he made the play.
The underdog got his win.
That's the point.
In the
he
playoffs.
Made the play.
And
he always made the play.
In Canada playing baseball. But see, he's an odd case because, he kind of got treated like he was a black quarterback where you had to legit ask yourself, can he not pass or are you not giving him the chance?
They wouldn't give him the chance.
And no, 100%.
You can argue whatever you argue. When he got in the game,
the
he made
guy I
happen.
loved that I think got a raw deal was Vince Young. Vince Young's got a winning record as a starting QB, but when he... Jeff Fisher never really liked him. And then when he pulled that little stunt where he went missing on a Monday night, they never really gave him the chance. So I'm happy for Cam, like I said. I wish old boy would have stayed because then they were solid on both sides of the ball with Josh Norman that went to Washington. And it's just like, man.
Yeah, that's always hard when them contracts and offers come.
Yeah. And
that's always the toughest part when you keep
they
a player
only want to pay
with.
QBs. To where you even seeing that with the Raiders this year with Khalil Mack, they got rid of him. They had David Carr on one side of the ball, or I called him David, but that might be his brother. But whatever, it's too many of them motherfuckers. Yeah. But you had Carr on one side of the ball, and you had Khalil Mack on the other, and they looked like they was about to really wreck something. And then this year, it's all gone to shit. And it's just like, well, you traded Khalil Mack like for nothing, basically.
Dude, the person that, bro, for me, I'm still so mad about when the Panthers let Steve Smith go.
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
Who was that playoff, that Super Bowl against?
Ravens.
No, it was against the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, that y'all lost to, and all y'all needed was a playmaker.
One touchdown. If we had Steve Smith, there's no way we don't get that touchdown.
Somebody that could catch it.
There's no way we don't get that touchdown.
Take
It's
it
impossible.
a few yards.
It's impossible we don't get that touchdown with Steve Smith. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How do you let go Steve?
Yeah.
Steve Smith deserved to retire a Panther.
Right.
I'm like, that was the most bullshit.
He went to the Ravens. Did he
went to the Ravens.
Getting the chip? Because they won it. I can't remember. No, they won it before.
They won it before. He didn't get a chip, but he did his thing out there. He got hurt.
I'm proud of Cam because Cam. Of course, let's get it done on the field. And like I said, most black quarterbacks by year 3, because we seen what they did to RG3, where it's just like they did not believe in him. And I mean, he broke all the records as a rookie, and then got hurt out there. And then the second year, they didn't believe in him.
The thing that I respect about Cam's style is his ability to run is a secondary weapon.
Yes. And
he's not out there just trying to run.
Adapted and learned
he's out there
to
trying to do what he got to do, but it's like, okay, nothing's there, now we're running.
Definitely adapted.
That's what athletic... the job of the quarterback is still to pass the ball. You still got to pass the ball.
I was getting nervous.
But if you have the ability to make something happen in trouble, then that's like
I was
shit.
getting nervous when you said his style because I thought you was approving the shit he wear after the game.
Nah, not at all.
That motherfucker's top 10 in the memes.
I don't know what he be doing with
when
him.
when he had the big hat on and they said if you don't do something by by midnight, I'll poison the city's water supply because they were saying he looked like a Batman villain. I was like, yeah, Cam. Yeah. It's just like him and Russell Westbrook when it comes to dressing.
I don't know what
they be wearing some shit that is like, bruh,
like,
I don't know who your stylist is, but I hope that you don't pay him.
Right.
This is just
I don't know what they be doing with them clothes.
But I get it too to a certain extent. It's like, you know, they got mad money. It's like, whatever, nigga. I'm about to wear fox fur tonight.
Right.
Which I hate that too because they always kind of flag them on where it's like, they be dressed wild and, you know, they're too focused on what they wearing to lead a team because, you know, the Ben Roethlisbergers and shit, they come in with just jeans and a Rico t-shirt. You can't even tell that they play in the league, you know.
But it's like, so what? That's the stuff that's dumb. It's like, so what?
We so flamboyant.
Everybody don't got to do the same thing.
I was laughing this week.
What he do when he get to work?
One of the players on New Orleans did the Joe Horn, and that was the era we came up in with the receivers, right? The receivers that was divas, T.O., the Chad Johnson, Joe Horn, and it was just a lot of them to where, remember, they rolled it back to where you couldn't even celebrate after. Because Joe Horn pulled the cell phone out his shoe and all that.
Oh, when they was going
and
crazy.
Chad Johnson was on the sidelines with the Hall of Fame jacket. And it was just like, yo, no more celebrate. Everybody getting fined.
Yeah.
Excessive celebrations.
Those are some good celebrations, y'all.
100%. That was the era.
T.O. spiked the cowboy star.
Right. That was the moment, yeah.
Bruh.
And then they came and pushed him off the star, and it was like, nah, bruh, not right here.
T.O., bro.
And T.O. crying, that's my quarterback. That's when he cried in Dallas when he was with Tony Romo. Remember they lost and he cried. Yeah. And T.O. was a character. That was the
T.O. played his heart out, though.
No, 100%. You can't say they ain't play hard.
And again, that's another player.
Coming across the middle and getting
I
wrecked.
feel like he got his just due.
He'll get it, though. He'll get it. He gonna
well,
get
not
the
even,
Hall of
well,
Fame.
not even that. I'm talking about as a player.
But I hated the excessive celebration thing for this reason. In real life ain't like that, right? Like, you ever be in the strip club and somebody buying bottles and you sitting there and you got $60 in your pocket? And it's like, ain't no referee to come over and be like, excessive celebration, flag on the play. You see that man is broke? Stop doing that.
Right.
Like, nigga, it's no...
You can't do that. Right.
excessive celebration.
How are you too happy?
Right, exactly. Excessive
Don't be happy you
celebration.
earned this hard-ass touchdown.
I wish real life was like that, though. Like I said, tax time when everybody, you know, they got kids, get their little $7,000 back.
Yo, that would be hilarious.
And you sitting there broke. And
if it was like, a tax time referee.
It's like, hey, excessive celebration, flag on the play. Posting, you know, pictures with all the money and the
flag
new car you brought.
Your party is too big for Red Lobster on a Tuesday.
You know Phil Hunt follows you, and he can see that. He didn't get no money back because he ain't busted no nuts.
Flag on the play. You bought 18,000 Jordans and your rent wasn't paid.
Flag on the play. Yeah, 100%. Excessive celebrations. But man, yeah, you one of a few cats I relate to in comedy because you come from a different place. We both transplants. So you from Carolina, right?
Yeah, I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
Durham in particular.
Yeah.
Okay, word. How long you been here, man?
I've been here for 6 going on 7 years now. April will be 7 years.
When you
For
came
6.5
out, I'm
years, yeah.
ask you this because I got a lot of cats back in Indianapolis and all over that I've met that, you know, they'll ask me, you know, what I think about coming out and trying to do comedy. And one of the first things I always tell them is, hey, man, you got to have a life plan. Like, fuck comedy because you probably not going to make any money doing comedy, you know, in your first year here.
Right.
So you got to figure out life. And obviously I figured out, you know.
Can we pause real quick?
All right.
I'm trying to hold it.
So yeah, man, we had to take a little break, but we back. But I be trying to tell cats like, yeah, you gotta worry about what you're gonna do as far as a job. Obviously, myself, I figured out cabbing. You know, yellow cabs always existed in New York. You know, I seen the movies.
Yeah.
So they've been consistent since the '70s. So I figured I'll do that, and you know. Getting off by 5 o'clock is the key, or getting off to where you can go hit the open mics.
Having them nights free,
is the key thing if you want to do comedy in New York. So yeah, what was like your plan as far as coming to New York? what made you want to come and like, you know, tell some of your stories, man.
Man, I first of all, I wish I had a plan coming to New York. I kind of just came and figured shit out. You know what I'm saying?
You had
like,
a little money saved up.
I didn't have no money. Bro, the way it happened for me was I was in college, right? I'm like a 5th year senior.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, in the city, I was a party promoter. I was pretty, you know, known around the city.
Right.
I did my own shows, and I did homecoming comedy show every year. Then that last year, they asked me to do the homecoming comedy show, and I did it. And it was a great experience, dude, the support and everything. And then after the show, I was just kind of walking around. I was just like, am I going to be the king of comedy at North Carolina Central University?
Yeah.
I was like,
the local joker.
Yeah, I was like,
every city has one.
And
go see Wild Will Wednesdays.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm just gonna be the king of Central, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, that just didn't make sense to me. I was like, I did the homecoming comedy show every year, and it went well. The people, oh, you're funny. I'm just like, I guess it was like, what else? Like, I'm just gonna be. I
felt the same way coming from Indianapolis to where it felt like, okay, and even, you know, as a black comic, mixing in with the white comics and the mainstream comedy scene, you kind of become that guy, and it's like, okay, so am I really even that good at comedy, or do they just need a different voice?
Right.
And are they just excited to see me because I'm the black guy on the show?
Right.
And it's like, so I had to find out, and there wasn't even a huge black comedy scene within, you know, Indianapolis for me to test myself against, you know. They did like a little black comedy show at a theater once a month, and I remember bombing my ass off at it and then thinking like, damn, I need that experience of being in Harlem on a Monday and going and doing Mocha's Mocha Lounge on a Monday.
So you knew about Mocha's before you moved here?
Nah, not that I knew about Mocha's necessarily, but saying how good a test that is to have every Monday.
What level you are?
To say, you can literally say, I need to get up in front of this type of crowd or that type of crowd
100%.
In New York, and then there's a show within that week that you can go test that material in front of that very crowd in. Whereas in Indianapolis, I may have been getting up twice a month, and I didn't have the test to say, I can get up in front of this crowd.
One crowd.
100%. So then you came to New York, and you've been here. How long? You said 5 years, 6 years?
I've been here, 6, almost 7 years.
And you always been in Brooklyn, man?
Yeah, no, I always been in Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn.
Did you come with Derek Thompson, or y'all came separate?
He came the next year.
Oh, that's crazy. So you came before him. Yeah, I always would see y'all together, and I always assume y'all came together. But you kind of came on your own mission.
Yeah.
And started from there. What made you even want to do stand-up comedy, man? Like, did you grow up watching it, or?
No, I mean, I grew up. I'm not going to say that in too detail. It was more or less like I grew up watching the sitcoms from the 90s.
Okay.
So like Martin,
Martin,
Fresh Prince, Jamie Foxx show.
That's the golden era right there.
Right, yeah.
Every channel, some night at 8, you could turn on,
watch some funny
see
stuff.
A black comic, and even if he wasn't a black comedian necessarily, a comedic actor, Will Smith.
Yeah, you see those really strong comedic
people.
actors. Dude, that shit looks so fun to me.
Yeah, it just looked fun.
The voices and the characters, and I was like, that's so fun. I want to do it. So all I knew is I wanted to be a comedic actor. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And so I was playing sports and shit, and I was always like in the back of my head, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the NFL when I'm done. I'm going to go be a comedic actor. And that was just whatever.
He thought you were going to be like Michael Strahan almost.
Yeah, right. But clearly that NFL shit ain't happened.
Which Michael Strahan was on Blackish, and they finally made the joke that he looks just like Anthony Anderson.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
He played like his brother.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He played the cousin.
And it had me
there.
laughing.
He played the cousin.
Like, I'm glad they connected those two.
Yeah.
Like, for
sense.
years, you've been looking at them and being like, damn,
that
Anthony kind of the ugly version of Strahan.
Stupid.
Or the fat version, but he done slimmed up now, so they look even
Strahan's,
more like...
Strahan's the richer version. That's all.
Right. But, so yeah, you just grew up watching comedic actors.
Watching those things. That's all I knew. I just knew I wanted to be a comedian actor.
Who's some of your favorite comics now that's in the game? Who's just out there?
That's in the game right now?
They don't really gotta be big, but it could just be somebody you've seen, or who really inspired you. Is it Chris Rock's, the Chappelle's? But I like the current names too.
It's kind of complicated for me because realistically, growing up, the first guy I ever looked at was Martin Lawrence. That was the first comedian I ever looked at. what Martin
Okay, yeah,
was
Martin
doing.
was huge,
Def Jam,
which is so crazy.
to Martin, just out of.
I wish we
like
could
shit.
see him on more now, but it's like that
I mean,
era
but,
was just
yeah.
so Martin. Like he owned the 90s.
No, 100%. And
Def
what he did was
Comedy
just
Jam.
so legendary.
Remember the Big Bird shit? Where the lady said was in the all yellow.
Don't wear that shit to shows like this. Yeah.
I know Big Bird went out of business, but
what
damn.
the fuck going on? Yeah.
Tell mama don't wear this shit
Yeah.
no more. Man, yeah, Martin just owned,
that shit was
owned
great.
the 90s.
That shit was great.
bro.
Everything he did.
I love his HBO special, You So Crazy. It's funny
You So
as hell.
Crazy.
The Rodney Dangerfield joke.
He don't
He
get
said
no
the Mexicans
respect.
didn't even know what the cause was about.
Yeah.
The way they beat Rodney Dangerfield was wrong.
was fucked up. He don't get no respect.
He said the Mexicans was just rioting. They didn't
Nah,
even
that
know
shit
which
was funny,
Rodney
yo.
they had beat up.
That shit was great.
Yeah,
man.
Martin is definitely one of
Martin
the
was
cats.
dope,
I
man.
remember my father and everybody just going crazy about Martin and watching Def Jam, and I soaked that up. Like yeah, man. Hell
That shit was dope, man. But so yeah, just watching those things. But that's all I can say. I went to school making voices, and that was just who I was.
Right.
Growing up. And I never thought I could actually do stand up. I was like, man, I know I'm funny. I don't think I can do stand up. I don't know. I just never thought I could do it.
Cats will be like, yeah, it's hard. Like I remember watching that Shiggy interview on Breakfast Club, and he was like, I've tried that, but it is hard. And it's like, yeah, man, it's a lot harder.
You gotta
than it
love
looks.
it. That's the only way you can do it.
100%.
You have to because of the ups and downs.
Seinfeld said, a great quote. Seinfeld said, "You can't want to do it. You got to need to do it."
Yeah, you can't. Because
Yeah,
there's no point. The struggle is too much.
We did a lot of mics together. We did, the Parkside Lounges and the Bar 82s, the Karma Lounge.
What's the other one? Identity Bar.
Identity Bar. We did a lot of mics together.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's great to see you having some success now. Like I said, you just won the New York Comedy Club contest, the 4th annual. What is your strategy as far as contests? Because I obviously did. You did March Madness this past year. And you made it pretty far.
I only went to the 3rd round, though.
I did, but still, you got to strategize for it. And even to make it to the 3rd round out of 64 comedians, that's big. Like, even myself, being the runner-up, I was a little sad being the runner-up, a year or two ago? And somebody told me, like, hey, man, it's 64 comics. You didn't beat one. Like... You did pretty damn good, but I wanted to ask you, what's your strategy as far as comedy contests go?
Man, comedy contests are difficult, weird, and a thing of their self. It's related to stand up, and it's hard to explain, like,
because we do it for free so many nights to where the results don't matter. When they finally do, it becomes a little different.
Not even that, because honestly, for me, I don't even care about the results as in the prize. I don't give a fuck about what's on the line doing a comedy competition.
Yeah, I try not to
for
look
me,
either.
it's more about the win.
Because it might psych you
I just want
out.
to win just because it's fun to win.
You just want to have a great set.
Well,
because
right,
you can't really control the outcome.
So beyond that, so let's just say I'm not thinking about what's on the line.
Right.
Because that's going to put too much pressure on yourself
100.
anyway. Just say, hey, man, it'd be nice to win something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you logically know if there's 64 comedians
go beyond that to do well. Because, so my experiences with March Madness was this. And that's what really prepared me for the New York Comedy Club competition. Yeah. Was having that experience. So
if
first
you guys
round,
don't know, March Madness is a big tournament.
Or
it's
Caroline's Comedy
Madness.
Madness.
It's set up just like
Comedy Madness.
It's set up just like March Madness in the NCAAs, where you're going head to head with a comedian, and one of you got to go home basically. And it starts off 1 minute, and by the last round, you have to do a total of 25 minutes because you're doing one 10-minute set in the final 4, and you're doing one 15-minute set in the final round. I was in the final round myself, and it's a daunting task because in the beginning, it kind of chokes out the experienced comedian because you can only do 1 minute. Right. And in 1 minute, everybody looks the same no matter what your experience is. And then on the back end of the contest, it kind of chokes out the inexperienced person because you have to do two different sets, one 10-minute, one 15, and it can't be the same thing because it's on the same night. Right. So it's a great contest, one of the best comedy contests in the city. Right. And Quan, you did it. What's your strategy?
By doing that, though, so essentially, but the learning of it was, okay, first round, I didn't really take it that seriously, right?
Yeah,
And
you're
so
like, I'm
I
just
went,
happy to be
yeah,
here.
and I just went and just did a set.
Happy to be
right?
here.
And it went phenomenal.
Yeah.
The second round, I was like, oh shit, I actually got through.
Right.
So I'm like in my head, like,
100%.
fuck, yo, I want to win. I want to win. And then the second round, I did good enough to win, but my set wasn't the best.
Right.
Right. So then what I realized is when you put that pressure to win, it fucks you up.
A little.
You can't even think. The weirdest thing is you can't even think about winning at all. When you're doing a competition, your only goal is to have an accurate set.
100%.
That's it. Because you're just trying to have an accurate set. Because if you think about if you go on the stage trying to win, you're not going to do your show.
Especially in the beginning.
You're not going to do your show.
Because it's 1 minute, and it's just like. But there's two different strategies, and I gotta honestly say, just like you said, coming into something as big as March Madness, 64 comedians, I had to say to myself, like, damn, it's 64 people, just get out here and have fun. But then once I hit like the third round of it, I'm like, oh shit, I could probably win this. Because I was kind of knowing, like, look, in 1 minute, somebody could do as good as me. But you give me 5 minutes, that's the sweet spot. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that can beat me in 5 minutes.
That's what's interesting, though. That's what's very interesting.
But you got to get to that 5 minutes.
Extend, you start to see people
get more
weaker.
confident.
Certain people
but that's why
get
I said
stronger.
it's a really good contest.
It's very interesting.
In the beginning, you got to be quick, and by the end, you got to have that amount of time. And
it's
that
very
experience.
interesting to watch that.
And obviously, me and you both know Nico, but Nico's a good friend of mine. And Nico, having had won it, would always just kind of be like, "Yeah, man, you know." I'm rooting for you. Like, come on, man, pull through it. He having won it gave me some pointers.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, you gotta, with contests, you think this. You think, okay, there's two kind of strategies. You think, either do all your best stuff up front because you don't want to lose and say, damn, I held that one joke. Or, you know, B, you say, all right, I'm going to do my B set because the next set I'm going to pull out the good stuff that they ain't seen yet.
But the fortunate part is you can do the same joke every week because it's a new
Well, yeah, that's with March Madness. And then some contests you can't do.
Okay, with that, with
when
the
you got to
ones,
do different sets.
The particular
it's
ones
like,
I've hadn't been that experience. So
yeah,
my whole thing isn't necessarily like a savor joke. My main thing is to be as funny as possible, as fast as possible.
Right.
Because once you got the audience, you got the audience.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you start to taper off later on, it doesn't matter if you make them, because the audience, if let's say that you have a couple great jokes, a couple decent jokes, right? And you try to say, hey man, I'm gonna spread it out and have something good in the middle and something great at the end so I can walk off.
Right.
But you have a bunch of okay shit in the middle.
You might have lost
the audience
them.
Don't believe you funny. Yeah,
you might have lost
them
by the time you get to that killer joke.
Right. But if you come out on fire, you prove that you're funny,
For
and the audience trusts
you
you a little more.
Don't know, and the listeners obviously is what I'm speaking of, and let me see if you ever heard this, because the vets where I come from in Indianapolis always told us to stack our sets like this. He was like, you do your second best joke first, and you close on your best joke. Because all people remember is how you start and how you finish. They don't even remember the middle.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
And that's
that was how I started off my strategy. But then one day, once I realized if I finish strong, but I was okay in the middle, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you start off on fire and finish weaker, that's a better position.
Yes,
it's the
100%.
Weirdest thing. It's the weirdest
100%.
thing. But if you okay and then nobody's gonna give a
the
fuck.
other line of thinking that the vets gave me in Indy was, you know, you like Chris Shaw. Shouts out to Chris Shaw, by the way. That's my mentor. That's my sensei. But he told me, you know, you kill Monday through Wednesday. You build Sunday through Wednesday, meaning you try jokes out, you experiment Sunday through Wednesday, and then Thursday through Saturday you kill. Like, that was the frame of mind he kind of told me to be in. Like, you know, there's no real reason for you to do your best set on a Monday. I mean, obviously you always want to do your best depending on who's there. The circumstances might change. Right. Obviously, if you're doing an audition, kill. But, you know, on a Monday, typically it's less people, so. Right. Versus that Saturday, you don't want to be that dumbass that's trying new jokes on the Saturday night show and bombing, and then, you know, you look bad and your booking slow up. But, Yeah, man. So you won the contest, and yeah, man, that's dope, man. Having a dope year. You're in the New York's Funniest.
Yeah.
New York's Funniest. That's great. That's this
Saturday.
weekend, right?
Yep, Saturday.
Saturday, what time?
Saturday at 4:30.
4:30 at Caroline. So if anybody listen to this, definitely go check that out. Yeah, I had the pleasure of doing that last year. Yeah, man, it's a big stage, and that's a dope accomplishment, man. We're going to get to the fight night portion of this, man. I'm going to ask you some questions about fights and, some stories. The who's, the what's, the wins, the where's, the how's. Let's start off. Do you remember, your first fight, man?
Yeah, actually.
Actually?
Yeah.
Was it a win or a loss or a draw?
It was more of a confusion.
Yeah, because nobody ever explains fights to you.
Yeah, I was a little kid, right? And I had lived in the projects.
Okay.
For a year, I went and lived with my aunt and uncle in the country.
Okay.
Right? And then I moved back to the projects. And I never fought nobody a day in my life.
Yeah.
And this dude in the neighborhood, he just hit me one day. Like, he just beat me up. And he was like, I'm trying to teach you how to survive out here, or some shit like that.
You?
Yeah, he was like a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
And he just beat
About
me
how
up, and
old
I
were
was just this was like second grade.
Damn. So, and he was like, what, 5th grade maybe?
Maybe, yeah, somewhere around there. He
just
might have
like,
been 6th grade.
He was just like, look, Quan, I'm trying to teach you what it is out here.
And I didn't know what fight was. I didn't understand. I'm like, why are you hitting me? Like, cause
that's good, and
me.
I wish I had somebody do me like that, because, yeah, the reality is, you're going to have to survive, and there's dudes that, you got to earn your respect less than they going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So,
no, you definitely had to in that particular.
Because I remember, my first fights or so, your world and your innocence is just shattered, because you're just like, oh, and usually somebody's taking something from you, and it's like nobody ever sits you down and says, hey, man, there's going to come a point where you going to hit somebody or somebody going to hit you.
Yeah. It was very confusing. I didn't know what.
So he beat you up, and then, did he beat you up? Did he?
He beat me up that time. It's very faint memories, but I remember him specifically beating me up that time.
Right.
But I remember. I think the first time I won a fight against him, it was because I kicked him real good. All I know is I kicked him. Yeah, I karate kicked him. And that's when he stopped bothering me. When I finally
you pulled out the Cobra Kai on him.
You know what? It was a night. Everything was karate movies and stuff.
Right.
So that's what you visualize.
Yeah, the story I had told on here was I had watched the Kung Fu movie with my father, and I headbutted a cat. But before I headbutted him, I bowed.
Why the fuck?
I don't know, man. I was watching movies. But I remember deciding after that, never headbutt nobody again.
And don't bow.
Because it hurt my head.
But most importantly, don't bow.
I know,
take the
right?
headbutt over the bow.
But why you bow
You'll
to
get
me,
knocked the fuck out trying to bow.
What was that?
Yeah.
But I did it, and me and the dude both wound up in the nurse's office because my head was
out
hurting.
Here bowing and shit.
Yeah, that headbutt, boy, you got to know how to do that. You got to watch the YouTube tutorial before you do that.
Nah, fuck that. I ain't headbutt.
So yeah, dude did that and told you, Quan, it's a cruel world.
Yeah, and he just kept fucking with me.
Right.
But what was interesting is after that fight, and then I go outside and play with the other kids, I had to fight all the time after that. So that really was a step into what the neighborhood was.
Right.
Yeah.
And
now, as we said it out loud, I'm like, oh shit, he really was preparing me.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that back then. I was just like, yo, why are you hitting me?
Right.
But now, as we talk about, you know what, he did prepare me
man,
for what that
friends.
neighborhood was. Yeah.
And yeah, I wish I had somebody like that, because I can remember, like I said, my father being military. Military is kind of a social experiment. If you don't know, it's literally most people from the worst environments put together in a remote location. Mm-hmm. So it's mad kids from the projects, trailer parks, whatever, together. But it's still, your father gets paid on the 1st and 15th. So it ain't like going to the projects. I remember my father's from, Indianapolis, Blackburn Terrace. Those are projects in Indianapolis. And we would get dropped off over there, and I remember being about 10 and kind of figuring out, the energy over here is different. When I go to the park in my little, base life, the kids is all there to play for the most part. There's a few kids that you got to look out for because they trying to, they want to embarrass you, basically.
Right.
But when we was in the projects, I learned, damn, they not going to give you your respect. You come out, you got a basketball or something, they going to take that.
Yeah.
If you don't stand up for yourself and say, that's mine, and I'm willing to punch you in the face about it.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to figure that out on my own. Of like different environments, it's different ways you gotta move. And so it's good that dude did that for you. Do you remember like your worst fight, like your worst loss that you took?
I'll never forget my worst loss.
I never forget it.
Nope.
Well, about what grade was you in and how old?
This was 6th grade.
6th grade. Okay.
I don't remember how old I was.
Don't say his name because we don't want to beat you up again, man.
Nah, for real.
Don't say his name
like
on
for
here.
real, man. That nigga whooped my ass.
He'll come to one of your
and
comedy shows.
This what was the worst part about losing that fight is in 6th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like the second tallest person in the school. I'm like one of the biggest kids.
So
in
you
the
got
school.
your growth spurt kind of early.
And I was a bully.
Oh, see, you ain't tell us that part.
Yeah, no, I used to bully people.
You was the bully.
I used to walk around like telling people, "Yo, shut up! Don't you talk back to me!"
All that
just
type
punching
shit.
people for no reason, right?
Hilarious.
And I don't even know how me and this dude got into it because I was trying so hard to be a thug, and it was one of my friends, QB. Something happened with him and the dude, and then the dude, my boy QB, was like, "Hey, Quan, handle my light work." And I didn't even know what was going on, so I walked out. I was like, "Yo, who got beef with us, yo?" And then,
So you was being loud.
yeah, I didn't even know what was going on. And then the dude, like, so back then, before a fight starts, everybody used to push each other first. You do the shove contest, right?
Yeah.
So I got my shoulder pressed against him. He's like, "Yo, man, the fuck is wrong with you?" Whatever. And then I pushed him, but he didn't push me back. He punched me.
Yeah.
And this dude was like, I was like second tallest. He was like the tallest in the school. Mm-hmm. So his reach was so far that once he started punching me, I literally just couldn't do nothing. It was just.
Oh, you got with the reach.
Yeah, it was
But
just
you
nothing I
was
could
tall,
do.
right?
Yeah, but
he was taller than you.
He was taller than me. He was the tallest in the school.
That's what's weird about fighting is kids. Like, you never know who you fighting or how old they are. And sometimes you fighting somebody that's much older or physically mature than you.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I got with the reach one time too. I'm going to tell this story right quick. It was a cat that had got beat up, right? And this is always sensitive in school because, you know, once you hit about 6th grade, you think you got a reputation, and the girls start watching and seeing who can fight,
so
and that's what be embarrassing. They're like, Quan got knocked out the other day.
It was this girl I had a huge crush on in my art class.
Mm-hmm.
and when I went to try to flirt with her, she was like, "You be getting beat up." Like,
yeah, man. That start getting embarrassing. But I'm always glad that we didn't have the cameras.
Yeah,
because the young kids got the cameras now.
Out.
Somebody done retweeted you.
Man, you know, also,
your ass whooping done got 10,000 likes. People commenting.
I couldn't handle that. Dude.
Nah, 100%.
I would have went crazy.
I understand,
like me in that position. I would have went crazy.
The kid that jumped off the Tappan Zee Bridge. Now that was a little different. It was, you know, his roommate basically busted him out for being gay. But I'm saying the same type shit of like shame, and then it being put on social media, people commenting, and he couldn't take the pressure, jumped off the Tappan Zee Bridge. But
I couldn't have dealt with that.
Definitely with World Star, I see that shit. With all the World Star shit of just like, hell no, I'm glad my shit was before these cameras.
I couldn't have handled that.
Speaking of which, why the fuck is World Star called World Star Hip Hop? Shouldn't it be called World Star Fist Fights? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I ain't never logged on there for no damn hip hop.
I don't think I've ever, even when it was probably about hip hop,
right?
For hip hop.
Like, nigga, stop playing. We here for the fist fights. We want to see Sharkeisha. Right. But anyway, so about the reach, dude had got knocked out at school, and literally somebody do a joke about this, but it's like, I've always been small. Everybody laughing about him getting knocked out. On his way to, like, you know, cat get knocked out or whatever, you gotta leave school to the office, kind of look back, I guess, and must have seen me laughing too hard that he got knocked out. Yeah. So I'm hanging out with one of my homies, and we at the Boys and Girls Club, or we called it the Youth Center on base, and I'm just standing there with him or whatever. You know how you never know a cat mad at you. This cat walks up, basically shakes hands with me, shakes up with me, and then kicks me in the chest. Like, as he's walking away, I mean, kicked me, like, hard. I had asthma back then, dog. I fell to my knees. I couldn't breathe. I was so mad, though, because he did it on his way out. It just kept walking. So I said, nah, like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, I got to get this motherfucker. I can't let that be the end of this. So the next week, I seen him at school, and I kind of told him, like, yeah, man, the next time I catch you up there, we fighting. Now, this dude, I'm 5 foot something, and this dude probably is 6 foot. But I just had to do it, dog. I remember just like running through his punches and just hitting him and connecting once. But he didn't hit me in my nose, my vision blurry, the blood is on my shirt.
Damn,
and just being mad and just having to take them punches because you didn't know nothing about boxing back then. Like, nah, this cat got way more reach than you.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And I remember, like I said, him blurring my vision to where people yelling out, Phil, just stop. You're just taking the L. But I was so mad that he did that, like I said. And we was friends later, but it was like, fam, how you going to get mad at the smallest dude for laughing at you for getting knocked out?
That's why.
But yeah, they always try to get mad at the smallest dude.
That's why. Man.
Like, little Phil said something, yeah, I'm going to beat his ass.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah,
come on,
why.
man. How you going to get mad at me? All right, so you told us your worst loss. You remember, like, your best win? Like, did you ever experience somebody bullying you and shit?
I never experienced those type of fights because the thing is, again, growing up, I was bigger than everybody. So
People ain't really
besides
fuck
that
with you.
particular fight, every other fight that I had ended at the shove because when I would push people, they would fall on the ground.
You was that big?
Yeah, I was just really bigger than
Big
everybody
Quan.
as a kid. Yeah. So, yeah, that was...
You told me something about a gang one time.
Oh, shit. You digging in the closet now,
Nah.
nigga.
Nah.
Nah. I mean, I participated in a fight where, you know, we ganged up on a dude one time.
So you jumped somebody before?
Yeah, we jumped him, man. I ain't gonna lie, I felt guilty as shit after.
Hell yeah, you
I
gotta
felt
feel
guilty
that
as
way
shit.
after.
I felt
I've never
guilty as
jumped
shit.
anybody.
Yeah, I felt guilty.
Got
as
in a
shit
few
after
hits
that,
on
man.
somebody.
Yeah.
Did
that
they
was-
come back for you or?
No, I mean, fortunately,
They left it at that.
he didn't because there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happened that shouldn't
some
have happened.
street shit.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. And fortunately, it didn't come to that. But yeah, man, we jumped this dude, man, and I just stomped him,
Damn, you put the stomp on
punched
him.
him. We freestyled. The fucked up part, we got into the fight from a freestyle rap.
From a freestyle rap battle?
Yeah.
Which is funny, you see that every
No,
now
that wasn't
and
the
then.
cause. That was a setup.
Got you.
That was a setup. We was
Yeah,
all
like,
freestyling.
we just gonna freestyle and then we gonna beat his
Yeah,
ass.
man. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
that, man. I mean, one of those dudes, he was banging it, so he stayed into that
Yeah.
life. But after that, I never got into another physical altercation because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know where it's gonna lead as an
Yeah.
adult.
You right, bro? As an adult,
And then fighting out of school is different because ain't nobody gonna stop y'all.
right? No, we was outside
So
of school.
y'all can go
yeah.
10 rounds outside of school.
Yeah, man.
It can get ugly.
As adults, man, sometimes when somebody pisses me off and I even think about getting to a physical fight,
Yeah.
and I think about as an adult, if you let that rage guide you into a fight, you
100%.
might kill somebody.
100%. I remember
I'm
when
like,
the
adults shouldn't be fighting.
big dude in my old hood in Indianapolis, I lived in Hallville or whatever, but, and that's, a notorious area for whatever, but I wasn't really involved in shit like that, but I can remember the change of being 17 and hearing one of the homies got killed, and he was a big dude. They called both of us 50, I was little 50 and he was big 50 because they said we both looked like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He was big for real, but it was a situation he was just trying to break up, and the dude felt like, hey, man, you ain't finna punk me, and shot him. So,
Damn.
and he died off that. But it's like, yeah, man. There was a line or a certain age you hit where it's like, fighting ain't even cool
not
no
even
more.
worth
You
it,
don't know
yeah.
what it's going to lead
You
to.
don't know, yeah.
So,
Not worth it
yeah.
at all, bro.
Have you ever gotten a fighting as an adult?
Nah.
You ain't gotten a fighting as an adult?
No, nothing close to even
You be
being
like,
physical
nah,
as an
fuck
adult.
that. When
Not
the
even
la-
just that. I mean, personally, I don't go around trying to provoke people.
Nah, I mean, we as comedians don't. I almost got in
Yeah.
a fight at the show.
Because I feel like that's part of it is what you do.
I'll tell this quick story right quick, and then I'll let you get out of here. We had I did a mic. I was going to do a mic. I was just on some Harlem shit. Like, all right, I want to stay in Harlem. What's going on tonight? And Whitney Chanel Clark, her mic was going on over at Nabe.
Yeah, Nabe. I
in
missed that
Harlem.
mic, yeah.
And I went over to do it. And that mic was like a show. There'd be audience and shit.
Right.
And I went up and I did this Street Fighter joke. And the Street Fighter joke I was doing was that, Street Fighter, they had fighters from all around the world, but they never had a Puerto Rican. And I was like, nobody likes to fight in the street like Puerto Ricans. Now, granted, let me give you the backstory. There was a woman I thought was Dominican, and I had did a Cardi B joke before that. And when she said something, I said, "Do y'all like Cardi B?" And she went crazy, and I was like, "Oh, so you Dominican?" And she was like, "Nah, I'm Puerto Rican." And she really got mad that I thought she was Dominican, and it's like, y'all look just alike. Let's not play. So anyway, she really gets mad about that, and then I segue with, "Oh, well, since you Puerto Rican, you really gonna like this next joke." So I was being an asshole already to the woman. I say, "Yo, the thing about Street Fighter is they've had fighters from all over the world. They've had over 10 games, but they never had a Puerto Rican. Nobody likes to fight in the street like Puerto Ricans." Now, if I'd have been being more aware, I would have noticed as I'm doing this joke, a guy comes and sits behind her. Now, obviously, she's a little older than him, so it wasn't her date. It turned out to be her son. And he was like, "Oh, so you just gonna make fun of my mom?" Basically, that was his energy of like, "Oh." And I mean, we as comics sometimes, we not making fun of them, but just
right.
They said something to us, now we feel like we gotta make it funny.
Right.
So it wasn't like I was being like, "Oh, bitch, shut up, da 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 da." Right. But I was more so just being like, haha, let's play off what you just said. So I did the joke, like I said, they've never had a Puerto Rican. Nobody fights in the streets like Puerto Ricans. And then I tagged that joke by saying, nobody fights in the streets like Puerto Ricans, and they've never had a Puerto Rican fighter. And then I said, in my last show, I did that same joke, and a Puerto Rican guy stood up and said, "That shit ain't funny. Meet me outside, Poppy." And I said, I did that part, and then I came off stage, and as I'm coming off stage, homie goes, "Yo, shut the fuck up. Like, that was whack as fuck." And I'm like, oh, shit. I was just feeling myself that night. I wasn't feeling his energy, so I was like, "Yo, fuck it. I like to fight. What's good?"
What the fuck?
And he didn't get up. So I'm thinking I'm cool. I come off stage. Whitney's coming back with the mic. The dude comes and grabs the mic from her. And since you want to be fucking funny, meet me outside. When he says meet me outside, everybody in the room went crazy laughing. Because it's like, yo, fam,
it's a comedy show,
that's
right?
part of the joke. Was
Right.
that I actually said, last time I did this joke, a Puerto Rican dude wanted to fight me.
Right.
So now I'm like, damn, I gotta fight this motherfucker. I done talk shit. Long story short, I go outside. He wasn't even there. But yeah, man. That was one of my last confrontations of like being in that moment and having to decide, like, do I meet this energy or do I back down or what? But
that's a difficult
position to be in, yeah. Because you have to put your pride aside sometimes and say, do I feel like possibly getting my ass whooped tonight? And then, we grown. We ain't got no health care. We out here telling jokes. It's like, hey, if somebody knock your tooth out, your tooth just going to be out, bro.
That's it.
You're
You
done.
got no tooth,
You're going to be one tooth Quan, or hey, that's going to be the intro.
Right.
This next dude got his tooth knocked out at the last show he did, so he don't know how to shut the fuck up. But he ain't pulling that shit tonight. Give it up for
Coming
Quan.
to the stage.
Right. All right, Rod, they kept you for a long time here, Quan, man, and I know you got a show to get to. Where can the people find you at on the social media and all?
On social media, on Instagram at Quan Wiggins, Facebook Quan D Wiggins. Basically, if you put Quan Wiggins on any social media platform, my page and my links will come up.
He should pop up. He lit. I got a show in Philly on Saturday at the Raven Lounge. If you listening, you can find me at funnyfield.com. That's where I keep all my dates. I'm at Stand Up New York Sunday night, this Sunday at 8 o'clock. And I'm at Broadway Comedy Club at 9 o'clock. So check me out. You got any shows you want to plug for next week?
For next week.
Next week.
I don't even know my schedule.
Throwing it at you
Top
quick.
of my head.
Whatever. Follow him at Quan D Wiggins.
Yeah, I post everything.
That's been
on my
motherfucking
page.
Tough Talk Podcast. Yo, thanks for listening.
Do, 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 do.